Dun 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 dun. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is TruePowerIsMine. This is TPIM SR Live. Today we're going to be talking about a facet of things. Before I start, I just want to give praises once again to the Most High to allow me and you and the listener and viewer yet again another opportunity to talk this thing out. Now, that being said, we have a new guest that will be coming up hopefully soon. I just got to get with her to verify time. Black Sonrise. Oh, her channel is beautiful. Yeah, I'll check out during this broadcast later on. We're going to go by her channel, just show you around a little bit. Very interesting conversation style. Unlike my channel, I would say her channel is for all viewing audiences. I mean, across the board. But back to what we're talking about today. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. The Kremlin hopes U.S. won't release detailed calls. I'm sure the puppet master doesn't want the full extent of that call being known. See, the sad thing about it is we're doing what's that, Crow Tell or Crow Quo Pro. Oh my God. The actual Latin word for you do me a favor, I do you a favor. The problem with that is that type of behavior is being done in Mar-a-Lago. That type of behavior is done on any golf court, private business groups, where you have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to be members. This is how business is conducted in this country. They're not going to come, Bobby, I really like for you because you're, chairing the EPA. I really would like for you to ensure that my new drug gets pushed through. And the way we're manufacturing the drug is a little toxic, but hopefully we can tamp down those regulations, Bobby. If you can do that, I can ensure your little son or daughter goes to that good college. They don't say shit like that. It's like, hey, Bobby, I heard that you're a chair on the EPA. A lot of those farmers down there, that are growing whatever that we need can really use a hand with those regulations, Bobby. And by the way, I hear Harvard has an opening. That's how they do it. Greetings, Sister Gloria. Welcome to the show. Peace, power, and unity. That's how they do it. You got to understand, yeah. Basically, ever since 1911 or so, this whole thing has gotten twisted. This whole thing has gotten weird. You know that money is what controls us. Money is what allows us or affords us the so-called lifestyle we can live, right? So how come people can't put two and two together? If money is so damn important, money is the epitome of life in the United States, then why does the United States government not print the money it's used inside of its border? We are, by the way, 25% of the world's economy. We can manufacture basically everything we need, unless you want papaya fruit or something crazy. And that's only just a matter of being able to build a facility to create the same rain forest conditions to grow whatever tropical fruits you may want. See, this whole ideal of globalization is a farce to begin with. Most nations can actually provide for their citizenry without going outside their borders. That's why they're a nation to begin with. Brent, welcome to the show. Brother Al1, A1, welcome to the show, brother. Peace and power, unity and victory to us all. You see, as long as, and let's just be honest, there's never been a black chairman of the Fed. there's only been white men and white women. Both of them are claiming to be small hat Jews. Okay? That's what it is. That's who prints our money. So when you hear the white nationalists going off on Jews, they're really going off on the fact that Jews are economically dominating them. Now, socially, yeah, they can still have their little social clubs, but they need a loan to get that social club added to or whatnot. They have to go to the Jewish bank. That's why they're pissed. We're pissed at the white boy because on the street level, he's the one putting the fist in our face. And a Hispanic is catering to the white boy. That's why he's putting his fist in our face. It's really a sick world out there, y'all. It all started in India with the monetary system. You're absolutely right. Which led to the further, basically, concreting of social classes in India. Now it's not a matter because you was born into the untouchable class. No, it's because economically you're non-viable. You can't come up. No one's going to give you a loan. No one's going to give you that hand up. Brother one, no one's going to do that. Oh, we're not being racist. We're just being economically responsible. We got to take care of our own. You take care of your own. Get your bootstraps. Remember? Remember the bootstraps? Kind of hard to strap up boots when you're barefoot, ain't it? Nobody seems to give a shit about that. It's kind of hard to strap up some boots when the whole system wants you to fail. When the whole system, by God, Sister Gloria, needs you to fail. The system has to exploit somebody. And it's going to be you, Jonathan. Welcome to the show. Peace and power to you, Brother Ball. That's where we're at. That's why some people are delusional about this race thing. Oh, it's just an economic. Yes, it's an economic issue with racial connotations. You see, after yesterday's show, by the way, thank you all for sharing that show with other people. I could tell somebody out there was sharing like a crack fiend. They were sharing the show yesterday. Brother or sister, whoever you are out there, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. After the show yesterday, I started looking at serial killers. I started researching criminal behavior, criminology, okay? And lo and behold, the top prolific black, there she is right here, y'all. Black Sonrise. She is the one that I want to have come on. Sister, if you can come on the show, call in right now. This show is really unorthodox. Where it seems like every time I try to really plan something, here's the number to call me, sister. Black Sonrise. Whenever I try to organize something always messes it up. Whether it's the NSA, the hacking attacks, whatever. So I try to do kind of things off the cuff. I know it's terribly unprofessional, but thank God I'm not a legit news organization. I'm just a man with a wife and 4 babies, 4 beautiful babies that wants this world to be better. And someone could argue that's pretty selfish. True. That's pretty selfish. I guess it is. If everything was culture and everybody was in love and unity, then this show would not be necessary. I would be enjoying life right now. But because we're all caught up in our own version of what it means to be free. And at the end of the day, y'all, these versions of freedom is a joke. You got freedom of speech, Brother A1. You better be careful what you say. Bye. You guys ever heard of BIE? B-I-E? Black identity extremists? That's bye. Bye-bye. Back to slavery you go. The 13th Amendment eradicates slavery. True enough, as long as you're not incarcerated. And then it's back to yowza, boss. I'll get that done for you, master. Can I get an extra pay beans? All right, here we go. Uh-oh. Hold on. I got to...
Uh-oh. This is Black Sonrise.
Yes, sister. Welcome to the show. I am so glad.
How are you?
I am doing great today. It's a beautiful day. I'm so glad that you reached out. You know, after I reached out to you, you reached back out. I'm so glad to have you on the show. A viewer sent me one of your videos, and I was just fascinated by your podcast. You only been out since what? August 2018. You already have something like 400,000 views on your channel. You know, that's tremendous. You know, could you please just tell us just a little bit about yourself and what's motivating you to do what you do, and then we can go into some topics.
Yeah, okay. Well, actually, I could talk for about 30 minutes, and what we can do is we can schedule to actually have me on the show. How about that?
Yes. I mean, what time would work for you? Let's just do it right now. What time works for you? I'm free 24/7.
Okay, yeah. The thing is, today I have an interview at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Can we schedule it for tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow, Saturday. What time?
Yeah.
What time?
What time is good for you? What's the best time for you? Like, tomorrow is Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm thinking of a good time. Is afternoon good?
Yeah, it's
like
good.
An afternoon show on Saturday would be good.
Yeah. What about 2:00 Central Time?
Okay, 2:00 Central Time is 3:00 Eastern Standard Time, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, you guys should be an hour ahead of us.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. So
awesome.
We can schedule like a full show tomorrow at 3 p.m. my time. That sounds good. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, okay, let's share something with us. What are you about, and why did you start the show you started?
Yeah, so basically, I had a rude awakening as to how the planet really runs.
Right.
And like, if you look at that channel is a new channel.
Yes.
Okay, it's a new channel. But I have an old channel that's called Rye Joe, and it talks about technological trafficking.
Yes.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
But even prior to that, I was doing interviews. Okay, I started doing interviews around like 2015 to get the word out, because I encountered a very rude awakening as to how the planet really runs in terms of invention.
Yes.
In terms of corporation.
Yes.
And what I will say is, are your viewers predominantly Black? Are they Black, Hispanic? Are they from everywhere? Like, what's your viewers?
We got people all over the planet, sister, on this show. I got people in Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Australia, Japan, all over.
Okay, so your viewers come from different backgrounds. They're white, Black, everything, right?
Yes.
So what I want to say to them is this. The key to understanding, and this has been a tough lesson for me, but I learned it. It took me 16 years. The key to understanding how this planet runs is this planet is run like a business.
Yes.
Everything on this planet is a business model, and that includes race, and it includes poverty.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay? Poverty is a business model. Racism is a business model.
Correct.
Okay? They don't care that it impacts people in a real way.
It's not personal.
Because racism makes money.
Big time.
Okay? So all the ills on the planet is a business model. And someone is making money doing it. Yes. And once you understand that everything on this planet is a business model, you have the choice either to engage the corporation by being a part of the corporation.
Right.
And some people try to compete with the corporation. They mostly get killed.
Yes.
Okay?
Heart attack,
And
car explosion.
absolutely. Go ahead.
Oh, no, what I want to say is you are so ahead of the curve on the technological thing because, see, when I realized what was going on some time ago was when I saw that on one hand, the earth is overpopulated. The earth is overpopulated. And then on the other hand, oh, we got to make life extension technology. Now, that doesn't make sense in a purely universal, natural way. If the earth is overpopulated, then why are we trying to extend people's lives? Why don't we just let them go out naturally? Because death is a part of life. We have to accept that reality. But then you start
Brilliant question.
analyzing this and you start seeing, sister, that there's only certain people who are getting the life extension technology in mass. Not saying that you don't get an Oprah Winfrey or Kobe or somebody or Magic Johnson come through every once in a while. But on the regular, it's it's David Rockefeller, a man that was able to get 8 open heart surgeries successfully, whereas the average man or woman ain't even going to get one. And then now, as we see this technological machine grow, they want to get us all genetically identified, all right, in prelude to getting chipped. And then guess what? The wealthy, the elite, will know who to kill to get the organs that they're going to need in the future. Because now every organ is compatible with the next person. And not every person is compatible with the economic means to get some of these procedures done. Like the other day, we had Judge Joe Brown on the show, and he told us over in Hong Kong and Asia, they actually have a cure for diabetes. They use stem cells and a mutated virus, and they inject the individual, and it relieves them of the pain. Now, we can't do that over here for a whole host of reasons, predominantly the religious right, which often turns out to be the racist right. And I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, you know, but that's
It's
the
true.
reality. Because, sister, you know, if you have babies, if you, let's say you have beautiful baby boy and beautiful baby girl, would you really make it to where my children can compete with your children economically? Would you really do that as a good mother?
Brilliant.
So why the hell
You
do
got
you
it.
expect a racist to do it for you?
Brilliant.
Having children in this racist environment and not doing nothing to fight it or suppress it is really putting your children in danger. We're all guilty if we're not actively acting, and we have babies. I'm talking about just parents now, a white, black, I don't care who you are, what color, it doesn't matter, because this racist thing, what goes around comes around.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
One of the things I was thinking about, you brought up so many brilliant, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I think I'm going to have you on my show. You brought up so many brilliant points. But just to piggyback off of your last point, you have to let's go back to the business model.
Yes.
Okay? The human white rule on this planet is a business model.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The rise of the Asian, in particular Chinese rule, this is ruled by race now, is a business model.
Yes.
The only group of people who have not corporatized their race and are last are black.
Why is that?
Because we haven't figured it out yet. The white race is a business model. Let me show you how the white race is a business model. Hollywood movie. They would do a feature movie about Japan, but the savior is a white guy.
Wow.
That is a business model, perpetuating white men as the savior.
Yes.
Okay?
Same thing with
when
Jesus.
When we look at ingenuity, there are multiple inventions. I mean, and I'm beginning to realize that most of those inventions, they steal from Africa and the Caribbean and black people. But there are multiple inventions created by black people. But we see the face of it as white people. That's the business model. Why? Because the white race understands that they created the planet to be a business model where everything is either profit, earning profit,
Right.
or losses. And they have put race, in particular, the white race, as an economic business model. Thus, the reason they voted for Trump.
Yes.
Trump was to bring profit back to the white superstate, the United States, and the white race as a declining, profitable business model.
Mm.
The emerging racial business model, who is a new entrant on the scene, is the Chinese by race, not by country,
Right.
as an Asian business model. The Arabs have an Arab, which is more ethnic, religio-ethnic business model. It is Islam as the religion and oil as the business.
Wow.
And Middle Eastern as the business model. The only people who haven't figured this out yet to corporatize their race and make their race an actual business model using what the black race is known for, which is ingenuity.
Yes.
Which is shaping culture. Okay, are black people. We haven't figured out. We have to corporatize the black race.
Yes.
That's just some of what I'll bring you to know.
That's beautiful. Listen, when I saw last night, you did a live show and you had Jordan Maxwell on, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I look at guys like in his caliber, like the John Lears, the David Icke, and all them, ultimately, what they're really fearful of is that we ascend back to our rightful place on planet Earth. They understand intuitively that this place has been diverted off its natural course. All right. Because for those who don't understand, there were actual true civilizations in the continent of Kemet, or better known as Africa. We call them the ancient Zimbabwe ruins. They had columns, they had high architecture, which would imply that they had mathematics. And this is before the Arab numerical system was developed. They had sense of measurements because, as an artist, I understand you have to have mathematics, whether you realize it or not, to draw a picture, to paint, to sculpt, because you have to have perspective. And perspective means you have to be able to add or subtract from visual perceptions of objects to make them appear 3D on a 2D plane. We naturally do this, sister, as black folks. You see it in our dance. You see it in our day-to-day motions. But we don't recognize that in order to be that genius that you were talking about earlier, that brings forth new inventions, whether it be a plow or a sword, you have to commune with the source. And now we're going spiritual. You have to commune with the source. Now that source is going to give you information. This is where freedom of will kicks in. Do you have the will to make something useful for humanity? Or do you have the will to make something this devastating, like a nuclear bomb or anthrax or AIDS or Ebola? You got to look at the spirit of a thing. And right now, when we look at the spirit of the people, the men and women running the planet, for layman's terms, we're looking at devils. We're looking at demons. We're looking at anti-humans, anti-Christ, as you were. These people love death and they hate life, except for them. They love life for them and their yoke. But the rest of us, we get nothing. We get death, we get pain, we get poverty, we get frustration. And the sick thing about it, the truly sick thing about it, they're not only do they rob us of our time, meaning we have to go to work to make corporations rich and we really can't enjoy life. They confuse our minds, all right? There's still people out here running around claiming Jesus is a white guy, blue-eyed, blonde hair. But that goes directly back to the white man being the savior. But the most devastating thing I think that they do, and we allow this because this is happening right now, is rob us of our future potential, our children's future potential, and their children's future potential. Because it's 2019 right now, sister. There's no reason me and you should be having a conversation about racism on this planet. Because at the end of the day, if you believe in science or you believe in history, you know that all human forms, all forms came from the black man and the black woman out of Kemet. That's the reality. Some are albinoids. That means they lost the ability to make melanin in their skin, but they are still human beings. And then you have everyone in between. Until we realize this economic system the sister's talking about, these monetary systems are just cells. They're just four walls, a roof, and a floor designed to box you in a cage. You're on a planet with infinite resources for real. I mean, as far as you're concerned, because you won't be able to drink all the water or eat all the food or breathe all the air. So it's infinite to that degree. But yet, most people never really travel outside 20 miles from where they live on a day-to-day basis. Most people are tucked away. Most people are tucked away. Sister, could you add anything to space, aliens, and I just say it like this. Do you have any knowledge that all the races might not have originated on Earth? We might have actually all come from different sectors of the universe, which would explain why we are all diverse.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, when you speak on so many layers that I have to like write stuff down because everything, and that's really good because it shows that your brain is critical. And that's a very good trait to have in 2019 because unfortunately, most people's brains have either become an Android for Google,
right,
an iBot for Apple, or what I'm going to call the new emerging phone company, a Huawei for Huawei. Seriously. So, but on the topic of extraterrestrial, now the thing there, this is a complex story because there's so many schools of thought and so many different writings. The writings that people don't take in, the knowledge that people tend not to take into consideration is the oldest people on the planet.
Correct.
That is the African, the original human, which is the African. People will run to the Sumerian text because the Sumerian text is actually written. Okay? But they would never stop to sit and ask the African elders who have the oldest genetics on the planet, yes, what is your story of the cosmology? And that to me never made sense. Like, why would you run to the Sumerian tablets that are tens of thousands of years old, with all due respect to them, when you have the oldest genetics on the African continent and they have their stories of their origin?
Yes.
And when you listen to their stories of their origin, some of them, they were natural to the earth. Now, this is, if you listen to the ones who don't advocate Christianity and don't advocate Islam, okay, that kept and maintained their traditions and their history of how they got here.
Right.
Some of them were natural to the planet. Some of them, like the Dogon, were brought here.
From where?
Sirius B.
Sirius B.
Right?
Right.
Some of them were hybridized.
For what purpose?
Okay, where the extraterrestrials what you call gods, which in fact are extraterrestrials, came to the planet, met a bipedal creature that was upright, and then did genetic experimentation, which is still actually going on today, because there are many people who I talk to on a daily basis who encounter these extraterrestrials and they abduct them. And the first thing they do is they either fertilize their eggs as in women or they take their sperm as in men.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah, so it's something that's going on today. And a great person to look up would be Mauro Bellino. Mauro Bellino. He's Italian and a lot of his research in Italian. Okay? However, he was the actual #1 Vatican translator who actually translated the Masoretic text, like the real text, not like a King James Bible, which is a translation from a translation from a translation from a translation. No, the actual text and what they said. And when you read the actual text, it is clear. Yahweh, and this is why I don't understand why people of different races worship Yahweh. The issue with Yahweh is this. Yahweh did not create all human beings. Let me make that clear. Yahweh did not create every single bipedal creature. He did not. He actually created 2 upright beings. The question is, were they black? Were they white? Who were they? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, when Mauro Bellino saw you have to remember what the Vatican is. The Vatican is responsible for every single war on this planet since Rome became a superpower.
Correct.
And Rome was a good record keeper.
Yes.
Let me stress this. Rome, before Rome became the Vatican, and all about the Vatican, pre-Constantine, Rome was a very good record keeper. And when Rome fell and the Vatican remained, okay,
they
carried on that meticulous history of record keeping and artifact stealing.
Mm-hmm. It works great for blackmailing descendants.
Absolutely. And Rome, or the Vatican, is the only place on the planet that has the real truth about human origin, in particular, origin of the white race. Because the anomaly for scientists, and I don't say this to be disrespectful, I say this because this is what they want to understand. The anomaly on this planet, not the black race. All scientists will tell you the black race is the origin. The anomaly on the planet is the white European race. Okay?
Okay.
And many believe that they are, in fact, the most hybridized race of all the different groups.
Now, do we have any idea what they're cut with? Are they cut with aliens?
Yeah. So science is showing that they're actually hybridized with Neanderthal. This is the first one, the Neanderthal, which is a very violent bipedal creature. Okay? You have the Cro-Magnon, which is another violent genetic strand. But then you have extraterrestrial strands that they found up in Scandinavia, where they said 10% of the Scandinavian population have alien genetics. And alien as in the genetics is not from this planet.
Wow.
Okay? So we know, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful or whatever, what we're saying is that the scientists can all agree that the original biological genetic blueprint on the planet was black. They all agree on that. Okay? However, when it comes to the white race, there is a strand that came out from the black race that went up into that ice and they lost their melanin. However, that is just one strand of the white race. it doesn't account for all the other strands of the white race because their genetics do in fact differ.
Wow.
For example, when you go to Northern Europe, the genetics of the Northern Europeans is not the same as the genetics of the Southern Europeans. When you look at the genetic strain of the Western Europeans, the far west, like your Great Britain, your France, your Germany, etc., it's not the same genetic blueprint as those from your Slavic countries.
Correct.
Okay, so the black race did not give birth to the entire white genetic strand. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the black race did in fact give birth to a white genetic strand, but not all white genetics.
So could we break
the
this?
question is, where does it come from?
But I mean, as you was talking, could we break this down as far as different traits we would see, like the blonde, blue-haired, or blonde-eyed, or not blonde, blue-eyed, blonde-haired white person versus the brown-eyed, dark-haired white person? You know, like a Sicilian versus a Norwegian, or a Greek versus a person from Germany. You know, the thing is that now, all right, we already identified there is something in the blood. Okay, let's just put that out there. There's something in the blood that makes them violent and prone to genocide. Okay, so now when the next Hitler rises up, he's going to have the benefit of being able to hit people with DNA testing to see if they meet the racial genetic code. Mm-hmm. And my question to you, sister, what do you think they're going to do to those of us who don't meet the racial genetic code?
Well, what I've noticed about them is they're very strange. They're very strange. Now, if you understand what's on this planet, there's only two factions that are fighting on this planet, the Nazi faction and the Zionist faction. They manifest themselves in terms of democracy versus communism or democracy versus national socialism. They manifest themselves in Islam versus Zionism. They manifest themselves in, and this is not our fight. This is not the fight of black people, but we always end up in the middle of this.
For acceptance.
But the two factions that are fighting over this planet are the Nazis versus the Zionists. And both of them have an end goal. Okay? The end goal is very simple. The end goal is who gets to run this planet that I keep telling the both of them is not theirs. Okay? Who gets to run this planet and how they're going to run this planet. The Nazi ideology is they're still searching for and trying to find out pure Aryan. Right. Now, the racist white people are deluded into believing that all white is right, not according to the Aryans. Not according to the Aryans. Because if you study the actions of Hitler, Hitler didn't just conquer Germany. He marched across Europe to the tune of 60 million, and in 60 million ethnic Europeans being exterminated off this planet. Right. The Aryans mean business. When they say Aryans, they are not saying people from Portugal, Spain, Italy that they consider mutt. Okay? I'm just telling you how they think.
Oh, you're telling me.
Okay, this is white on white racism now.
Right.
Okay? The Aryans consider your pigs, what European people call pigs, Portugal, Italy, Spain, Greece, they consider them mutts. They're not white. Then when you go to things like your Western Europe, France, they consider two mixed because a lot of Arabs and blacks there. Yeah. You're not Aryan. Okay? Right?
That's true.
You go to the eastern part of Europe, the Aryans look at the pure-blooded Aryans, which you can find them in several places, the northern part of Europe, okay? Germany in particular, Britain, the ruling elite of Britain,
it's Germany.
Okay, the ones who are not Jewish, okay? They're pure-blooded Aryans, and they still lean towards Nazism.
Yep.
Okay? Your Scotland and your Ireland, not quite, because your hair is red. Okay? Your Eastern Europeans, they consider them slaves. That's where you
Slavs.
get the word Slav. Yeah, but they're not Aryan. Okay? So when you understand who the Aryans are, the Aryans believe that not only are they superior genetically, but they also believe that not all white is right and equal.
Correct.
However, most white people think by virtue of their skin color, because white is a corporation, white skin color is a corporate business model, they believe that because they're white, when the Nazis take over, they're going to reign equally with the Nazis. No, because I have friends who were kidnapped by them who are white, and they will tell you that many of the children they murder in the experimentation are white babies.
Wow.
But they will not murder. They will, in fact, torture and put under MK Ultra their blonde hair, blue eyed slaves. But they will not murder them. But they will murder white, non-Aryan babies.
Wow.
Okay?
Monstrous.
Oh, yeah. So, but then when it comes to black people, there's an anomaly. And the reason why I say there's an anomaly is because on many occasions, and I didn't know then because I wasn't awake. Okay? I was not awake. Okay? Right. I had, as I looked back on some of the people who was very much interested in me and wanted to marry me and have children, they were Nazis. They were Aryans.
Wow.
So I said to myself, as I got older and I began studying, because I had a rude awakening as to how the world worked, because I honestly believed for many years all people were equal. And I had a rude awakening that, no, that's not how the world works. So I had to question everything.
Correct.
And then when I began to question my past relationships and people that I encountered, I realized many of whom were either Zionists, racist to the core, were Nazis. But I didn't realize until after my awakening. And then I began to question. I said to myself, now why the hell would a Nazi want to be with a black person? And then it led me down the path. Who really are black people? Then I began to study that before Hitler did what he did in Europe, the Nazi Party already existed before the rise of Hitler. And the group of people that they tested on, all the experimentation for natural selection, as you would call it, which is a bastardized version of what Darwin was actually studying.
Who was a bastard?
Darwin was actually studying plants. But his work that he stole, that was later stolen, okay, was used to describe human behavior when that stolen work was actually used for plant behavior.
So that's what the Thule Society picked up with their ideals of the Uberman and implanting that.
Yes, because that struggle that Darwin spoke about, he was studying botany. It was plant life, not human. But anyways, but the eugenicists took that and color-coded it into humanity and called it the origin of the species and natural selection, okay? And survival of the fittest. No, it was plants he was studying, not humans. But anyway, so we see, as I began to study, I began to discover what the Germans were doing in Africa. You always have to ask yourself, why is it that these eugenicists and these so-called superior races and the Aryans believe that they are the most superior? I politely tell them, how are you superior to everyone else when the sun burns your ass and gives you melanoma? Like, seriously. How are you fighting for a planet, claiming it's yours, and the sun is telling you, it's not?
It's not. You're not for
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
I understand.
Tells you the ideology is alien.
But what you're
You see
saying
what I'm
also
saying?
clicked, because now I understand why they don't give a fuck about it. This is not your homeland or home planet. You don't mind
Bingo.
polluting it. You don't mind debasing it. You don't mind destroying it, ripping out every resource, because in your mind, you're thinking you're going back to what, B2, Beta, Delta, wherever you're really from. See, what we're talking about is, if we can use it in human terms, this is back in medieval days. We just jumped on a ship. We went to a desert, or not a tropical island. We find out that there's fruit and gold here. We're not from the island, but we went in there. We killed off the natives. Now we're pretending that we actually been on this island forever, knowing good and well we're just ripping resources off the island to send back to the homeland. This is what, remember when they always said, sister, there's nothing new underneath the sun. When you see spaceships, keep that in your mind. Right now, there's a satellite orbiting the Earth. They found it back in the 50s. It's called Black Knight. They don't know what's its purpose there, but it is a construct in space. This is one of the most powerful shows ever, because what Sister Sonrise is talking about has such major implications. Major implications.
And I want to say something.
Yes.
Satellite technology is not new.
Exactly.
Not pyramids, computers is not new.
Yes.
Wi-Fi is not new. Nuclear weapons, not rocketry, modes of flying, maglev, none of this technology is new. Let me show you why satellite technology is at minimum. Listen to me carefully. At minimum 10,000 years old on this planet in particular. Okay, and you're gonna laugh at me, but I need you to use your imagination. Or your third eye, go to Google and you're gonna type in Sumerian cuneiform tablet. Sumerian cuneiform tablet. When you look at the Sumerian cuneiform tablet, you're gonna see a bas relief carved in stone, of a giant, and he's standing in the heaven. And you're going to see what's next to him. It has a ring in the middle, and it looks like it has wings. And many of the ancient archaeologists and the decoders of the Sumerian tablet always mistake that for a bird.
Yes.
Okay? But when you go even back to the coders, the code writers who wrote the Bible is not to be taken 100% literally. It is a book of codes, and codes you have to break. The Bible also talks about satellites. When you look at the bas relief, many Sumerians, Sumerian experts, when they try to decode this, they say, oh, it's a bird. What the hell? Birds are in space.
Exactly.
That's a satellite. They're depicting a satellite in stone in the Sumerian text. It's right there. Now you're going to superimpose that stone relief next to a satellite, and you're going to see they're the exact same design.
Wow. Do you not
Let me show you another anomaly. You're going to go to Google Images, and you're going to type in Teotihuacan, the pyramid structure, aerial view of Teotihuacan. Or you can also do this with the Greek temple. Okay? Then you're going to open another URL, and you're going to go to Google Images, and you're going to type in computer motherboard, CPU. And you're going to put them side by side. And when you look at the aerial view of the pyramids in Egypt, or Kemet, not Egypt, the pyramids in Teotihuacan, the temples in Greece, Next to the computer motherboard, they have an uncanny resemblance. They look alike.
Mm.
And everyone who's been there said the same thing. There is an energy that is harvested there, which tells me that these things were built not just for the gods, they were ancient, the ancient internet on a much grander scale. I'm telling you, all those pyramids across the planet create an internet. The question is, how do we turn them on for communication?
But we got to consider, sister, they were turned off for a reason.
Well, yeah.
And perhaps this reason is because it's not in our best interest to turn it on.
Well, we're dealing with artificial intelligence. We better turn those pyramids on.
But don't forget,
okay,
when we're dealing with artificial intelligence and machinery, when the machine man comes to power and is conscious, the flesh will suffer yet again. It's like, do we not understand? I'm going to break it down for everybody. It's not against flesh and flesh. It's against flesh and metal. When the now you're going to laugh at me, sister. When the robots come and kill us, I'm telling you today, September 27, 2019, human beings of whatever flavor, when you allow the machine to come and it kills us, you've been warned. You shouldn't have turned it on. You shouldn't have messed around with it. We should have just learned to coexist and kumbaya, if you want to say it like that, and move on to the future. But no, you have to insist on bringing back these metallic fucking monsters, the gods of old, and they're going to enslave us yet again. Way to go, humanity. Yay. You guys rock.
No, but you have some very valid points. You have some very valid points. But the reason why I say they need to be turned off is because they were turned off for a reason. But if you know anything about the internet, what do they always say about the internet? Nothing gets deleted.
It's always there.
So if we were to do a controlled turn on of the pyramid, we can find out how to stop some of what's happening on this planet. Because what I can say is this: we have not yet, the only ancient civilization that I've heard that spoke about the metallic robot men, there's only one, and that was Credo Mutwa in South Africa. No other ancient civilization spoke about the metallic men, and the metallic men who brings you things like your robotoid. It was Credo Mutwa that spoke about the metallic men. I forgot what they're called, that roam parts of South Africa. Okay, that is a robotoid humanoid.
Correct.
No other ancient civilization spoke about them. But what we're faced with the AI and with killer robots is new. Never in the history of archaeology, anthropology, and ancient Earth history have we ever heard any civilization speak about an alien invasion via AI killer robots. And those pyramids, and you're right, they were turned off for a reason. But what we do know about them is that it holds humanity's past. And that includes humanity's past mistakes.
Exactly.
And if we can turn them on in a controlled environment, decode what's in their internet, get the information, we could quite possibly save humanity from the killer AI robots, because they're not going to come to kill us using humans.
No, they're
humans
not.
Have too many randomness. They're coming to kill us using robots.
Yes.
And the Earth has never faced this threat. So that's why I say we need to turn them on.
In hopes of finding some sort of, but then it seems like we're back to the World War I situation where the enemy of all of us is funding both sides. Now, obviously, it's not with money; it's with intellect and technology. And who's going to really benefit at the end of that confrontation? Will it be humanity? Will it be the enemy? Or will it be the robots?
That's a great question. I'll tell you this. I'm implanted with wireless body area networks, biosensors, and tracking devices. Okay? That was my rule wake-up call. This is how the planet is really run. And I'll tell you this. As a person, as a non-consensual implantee of this technology, I will tell you this. They cannot control the human brain.
Correct. Correct.
And this scares them.
And it should.
And the second thing I'll tell you about this technology is this, is that AI in the human can be defeated. It's a constant battle. Okay, because I fight the AI internally because the chips inside of me, they've programmed it into the AI and into quantum computers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you realize, so I'm a living, walking part cyborg. Okay, I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
Okay, and I've spoken about this, but the AI has not defeated me, and it has not defeated my humanity.
Correct.
So I know the human brain will find a way around the AI. The issue is you have no privacy in your body because the AI is always listening.
And monitoring.
But you can't defeat the AI. The AI's goal in the human body is to trick the person into believing that it's their internal system. The third phase is the AI seeks to become you, make you believe that it is you and you are it.
Possession.
And then from that, the AI wants to dominate and make you the slave. And I'm here to tell humanity, A, do not let them put these chips in you because they put it in me. But B, if they secretly do, which they are doing because they did it to me, you can defeat this technology. It's a battle every day, but you can defeat it. The problem is when this goes on a mass scale, I can tell you as a partial cyborg, okay, I can tell you this. The human brain, once it realizes it's a foreign enemy that's inside of it, the human brain will overcome the AI. Now, the issue is, depending on where the implants are located and what part of the brain that the AI seeks to control, and it's usually the left side of the brain they seek to control for some reason. And it's because of the functions of the left side of the brain. Okay? Your reason, your mathematics, your logic, your ability to calculate, think, that kind of thing. The AI, the rulers, want to use this as a means of controlling who they leave on this planet after they do the mass extermination. Okay? So it's mass extermination, and then the rest of the people on the planet use as slaves. This is why I'm a proponent of awakening those ancient computers, what you call a pyramid. I am a firm believer that part of the key to freeing humanity is waking up those computers, what you call pyramids, because in it is encoded humanity's history of how it survived. And I don't believe those pyramids are 10,000 years old. I believe those pyramids are millions of years old. I don't believe they're tens of thousands of years old. Okay?
Okay.
That's just me. That's just me. Now they can date the stone and say the stone is 10,000 years. I don't buy it. I believe those pyramids are millions of years old. And that's how long we've been on this planet. Okay? So I believe the internet can still be activated in those pyramids. The question is how. And I believe in that ancient internet, what you call pyramid, okay, because the pyramids are just a motherboard.
Right.
I believe the information to save humanity's history is there.
Correct.
And we have to turn them on. We have to turn it on, decode the communication, and use that knowledge to quite possibly rid the planet of several alien species that are fighting over this planet. It's not just the Dracos, it's multiple. But listen, I actually have to run.
Yes, I know. I'm so sorry. I know we
No, it's okay.
went over to 15 minutes, but definitely tomorrow we are going to carry on. The chat room is alive. This is, like I said, been one of the most powerful shows that I personally done, because we're talking about some very real things today.
Yeah, for sure. And I really enjoy the way you think. I really enjoy the way you think. I think one of the keys, and this is the last thing I will say, the key on this planet is waking Black people up, because Black people are the only sleeping race as to what's really going on, and waking white people up and telling them the truth, and the Chinese as well, and the Arabs as well, because they all believe, they're going to rule the planet, and they're all deluded. They need to understand the way these creatures think is, if you are human, you're an enemy.
Right.
And only to be used to further the alien agenda.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a hybrid, meaning a hybrid of them and a hybrid of humanity, these creatures practice race first. And they don't practice race first as in you're Black, I'm white. No. They practice planetary racism.
Yes. Yes.
Let me explain what I mean. A pure-blooded Pleiadian is not going to treat a human hybrid Pleiadian equally.
Exactly.
They practice planetary racism. An Andromedan, a pure-blooded Andromedan, will never treat a human hybrid Andromedan equally.
Correct.
A Draconian will never treat a human hybrid Draco equally.
Mm-hmm.
They practice planetary racism. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's translate that into human form. Many whites have aligned with these entities, and these entities have told them, we will make you the administrators over this planet if you carry out our agenda.
Yes.
And I'm here to tell the white race, you're being duped.
Yep.
They will never treat you equally as a pure-blooded, for lack of a better word, because they don't have blood, pure-blooded species from their planet. You will never be treated equally to them.
And the spirits tell me to interject this as well. And they will never give you enough technology to ever compete with the home world.
Bingo. That's a brilliant ending. And with that, tomorrow at 3.
Tomorrow at 3, sister. Thank you, Sonrise.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye, guys.
Bye. Yes, Yao. That is what the show's all about. This is what TPIM SR Live, the People Show, your show, is all about. Is bringing you that information that you don't get nowhere else. Now, I want to jump over. I would normally I would try to, as she was talking, pull up stuff on the side here. But if I'm on the phone, thank you, Brother Anthony. Thank you. If I'm on the phone, it would have gargled. We wouldn't be able to hear anything that she was saying. All right. But I want to jump over here and show Yao her YouTube channel. All right. And I'm going to post her link in the chat room. And please, Yao, go over there and check out her videos, because, like I said, and thank you for the listener who sent this to my email, TruePowerIsMine@gmail.com. Thank you. I try to, you know, I call you all my confidential informants. All right. Because you guys inform me. And I am thankful. Right here. This is her channel. All right. Now, she was able to get Jordan Maxwell on her show last night. Let me post her channel for you guys. Copy. She's a good human being, a great soul, a strong soul to battle what she's battling. I don't know her actual name. That was literally the first time I talked to her in life, Brother Burke. What you guys just heard was the very first time I ever talked to Black Sonrise ever in time. It took millions of years for that to occur, by the way. Millions upon billions of years. And you guys are the witness. Can I get a witness? But I just want to play an excerpt so y'all can see her.
Stream.
Here she
Tonight
is.
we have one of our favorite guests back on the channel, Mr. Jordan Maxwell. All right. Yay! He's one of the foremost, for those of you who haven't listened to Mr. Maxwell on the video, he's one of the foremost.
Here, I'll post this link to this video.
In the whole truther community, alternative news.
Thank you for watching, Sister Kimberly. Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, and I don't make no bones about this. This show is moved by the Spirit. If you guys haven't noticed this yet, this show is moved by the Spirit. I believe I'm in tune. You know, I mean, most of the things I say because at the core I do believe it, but the way I say it is the Spirit moves me to say it in that particular way. That's why I'm so thankful and so humble and grateful for you guys, the people who get it, the people who listen to the show, the people who share the videos on their social media. I'm so humble. Am I the best speaker in the world? No. Am I the most intelligent human being on the planet? No. Am I even the most caring individual out here? No. But I do have this certain drive, and it's to bring you guys real information that will have a measurable effect in your future, today, moving forward, not yesterday. I'm not concerned with yesterday. It's already written in stone. I'm only concerned with where we can maneuver, where we can wiggle, and that's in the now, right now. And my mind is really focused on that future. Having little kids being able to play without predators and haters lurking in the shadows. Having women being able to have a home and a place to operate and enjoy life and enjoy the fruits of the womb. And have a situation where men can feel the love of being needed, being respected, being the protector and defender of that little unit we call the family. But brothers and sisters, all that's under threat. We had a situation on this planet where we truly had an opportunity to have peace. But another road was not chosen by us, but was chosen for us. And that's the road that we're on now. And I say stay strong and keep your heart and keep going on and pushing forward. I don't care how tired your body hurts, how confused your mind may be. Just keep pressing on in the righteous path of life and liberty, liberation. One day, hopefully, once we get this thing right, brothers and sisters, we too will ascend into the skies, into the universe, and have new adventures and new journeys. But before that journey can begin, this journey of hatred and oppression has to end. And on that note, please join us tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be live with Sister Black Sonrise again. We'll continue this thought process. I want to give a very special thanks to Black Sonrise for trusting me personally enough to come on this show today, because she didn't know me. She didn't know if I was some sort of clown guy or whatever. She don't know, you know what I mean? That's a sense of trust. And that, my friends, cannot be faked. Cannot be duplicated. It has to be genuine. And I sincerely believe that I get this from the spirit. And I draw off it from Yah's spirit, because I know many of you guys are praying for me. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm almost about ready to cry, Yah. Not like as a pussy or nothing like that, but because it feels so real to me. Thank you, audience. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, guests. This has been TPIM SR Live. Today's date, September 27th, 2019, the year of our Lord. As always, I ask you to live your life with integrity, without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, brothers and sisters, let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace, power, unity, and victory. I'm out.